going to sleep.
Well, let me stop wasting your time. Well, welcome back to the I'm here with you. I am the host, Delani, aka Dede, and today we have another special guest. To end off, what's this is April?
April.
End this off for April. We got another one of North Lawndale's finest. We got Andrell Bryant. Man, how you feeling today?
I'm good. And yourself? How you feeling, brother?
Man, I'm tired. Adulting.
Oh yeah.
Adulting is something.
For sure.
Adulting is something. Oh, I can't forget my West Side co-host for all of these adventures. When we go to North Lawndale, we got some Demetrius on.
Man,
He's
shout
also
out my
had
boy Shadur, man. Congratulations on getting drafted, man. Shout out Shadur, man.
Yeah, take us through how it was growing up in North Lawndale. Where do you come from?
For me, growing up in the North Lawndale community has been a blessing, an honor, and just a privilege to be around a group of people that look out for one another and just love on one another and just support each other. So for me as a kid, I felt loved, I felt supported through my whole process of my childhood, teenage years, and continuing to my adult years. So
Speaking of those teenage years, take us through how it was being in North Lawndale when it comes to like education. What school did you go to?
I went to Low Village High School on 31st and Costner, World Language High School, the best. Did all 4 years there, played basketball. Graduated.
Who inspired you, or what moment inspired you to get into basketball in the first place?
The legendary, as most people know him as Mr. Bryant, my father, just taking me everywhere he went to referee and just letting, me and my nephews just shoot around during halftime and timeouts and just putting the basketball in our hand and just letting us, shoot free throws and buying us a basketball hoop in the back of the house and just having the whole community come in the back and just play 32 and, 21.
Okay, now that we go to middle school, went to high school, talk about your college years.
I went to Robert Morris University downtown. I wanted to go, but I wanted to stay at the same time. So it's kind of like, am I ready? But Robert Morris was a good opportunity for me. It was a small college, one building and dorms across the street. I could travel from downtown to home, or I could have stayed on campus. But it is a semester staying on campus, so. But I had the opportunity to go to the University of Wisconsin Green Bay, but all my credits went transferred, so I stayed at Robert Morris and got my associate's degree in exercise and sports studies.
Mm. Talk about more of what got you interested in sports studies.
Just having a family of athletes and just being around a community of basketball and, just sports being a big part of my culture. So, that's what really got me into the exercise and sports studies and getting deeper into how athletes perform and, just the aspects of it, just the recovery and things like that. So,
How important is it to have someone who's an expertise in athletics? Whether it be basketball, football, or whether it be someone gets injured on the court and nobody else really knows. They only know like thug it out. So how important is it to have that knowledge to for these injury scenarios or these recovery scenarios?
right. So, if you really want to look at it, like you could look at those guys and women as on-site doctors that you might not be able to get to. You know what I'm saying? They coming to you, they talking to you, asking you, hey, what do you feel the pain? And, just those are the people that's going to help you recover 100%, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it plays a very important role.
That is it.
You want to make go more?
Oh, I thought you was gonna say more. You just like abruptly paused. You had abruptly paused. I'm like, I'm listening. In not just sports, but in life, but also like how important is it to always make sure that even if you don't make it into you know the like NBA, you can always still be a part of the NBA, but not on the court.
That's why I feel like this generation falls short because my mom used to always tell me and my nephew Alfonso, if you don't make it, always have an A, B, C, and a D plan because injuries happen, life happens, and you still want to be in that realm of the game. So a lot of people don't know there's other opportunities and jobs that you could get into within the sports industry, like you say, sports media, exercise and sports study, managing. There's a whole bunch of things that you could get into and still make a good living off of it. And you know, it might not be the career path you destined to have, but you still around the thing that you love to do. So
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Did you have a question?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little biased in this. I'm trying not to be a little biased in this interview because
You can be as biased as you want to.
no, it is. I'm gonna explain it. It's because like my family kind of grew up with them, so it was like I like all his nephews. I know all of them. I know everybody. You get what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah.
So and like I went to school. I basically graduated like with Steve, and I graduated exactly with him. I was every step of the way with Steve. So it's like I didn't see like how they family then shifted from alright, okay, one of us is doing this to we all doing this. We even do this in our spare time. This is our plan for this. And shout out Coach Smith, man. You're doing a great job coaching, man. I'm proud of you, man. They knew you for 20 plus years, man. I'm proud of you. Hopefully we'll get you on one of these interviews next, man. Keep doing what you're doing, bro. Keep doing what you're doing. So like I know where they done came from, like where they started from, how dedicated sports is, especially basketball, you know, and how that's like a sense of, all right, this is my home, this is my element, you know, and this is where I could show what I could do. Whether it's like all of them can play basketball, you get what I'm saying? Yeah, all of them is good at basketball, you know, but like even like for Steven, instead of going completely into basketball, he shifted into coaching. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like Zoe, he lived the dream. You get what I'm saying? He made it. He showed like this the hard work and don't ever give up on your dreams. You get what I'm saying? So he was able to move around a little bit. Steven figured out his own way too. You get what I'm saying? And Jordan gonna figure out his own way too. You get what I'm saying? Like they all find a way to still be connected to the thing that they love most, and that's basketball. And that's the reason why, like, even the great Mr.Bryant, I done knew him all my life. You get what I'm saying? So I know, like, how important he was to the community, like, how he brought basketball to the community and what it really stood for, you know? Because a lot of people be like, yeah, we doing b-ball on the block, but it was more than that. Even people that you haven't seen in a long time, you knew for a fact that during that time frame, Mr. Bryant's going to bring everybody out. No matter if you was into it with these people, by the end of that day, y'all cool. Because he brought y'all together. He made it happen. You get what I'm saying? So
this gonna be a raw ass reel. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Put some like I don't know Meek Mill background or some shit.
I was living it.
How deeply affiliated are you with the Mason summer tournaments?
Man, I'm like the next generation of it. My dad, we've been doing this since, like Meech said, B-Ball on the Block, which was, what, 10, 15 years ago, almost 20 years ago. Me starting out refereeing and just doing little miscellaneous things to, becoming the Robin to the Batman, Mr. Bryant, and my dad, to him passing and me just, taking over the whole thing and just being the point guy now. So I'm deeply, deeply rooted in this game. So,
Not only should he be deeply rooted, I think he should also be deeply proud because this will be my third or fourth Mason tournament, which is crazy because I lived out here for about like 19 years, and I went to Legacy within that building, and I played against Mason when I went to DeWar for a little bit while I played for the team. Yeah, different time, different place, different person, y'all. Different time, different place, different person.
That's a rivalry.
You didn't talk about DeWar. Talk about DeWar.
Every day for work.
So different time. There's a reason why I ain't finished and I went to Legacy.
Okay.
You feel me? But
we accept Legacy a little bit because y'all was on our property, but
where they going now? So
you went to Mason. You don't like Legacy or Dvorak, especially Dvorak.
I didn't really care. I didn't like DeWar because they kicked me me out. So that I had a personal part with them. So I'm like, y'all couldn't let me finish. And they had strawberry milk. Couldn't deal with that.
I don't care if you just transferred in. Me being part of Mason and Mason in the blood, Maverick is in the blood. Oh, none of this.
Which is weird because that
ain't got nothing to do with divorce.
How long was you in Mason? Because I was in Legacy from kindergarten to 5th grade.
I think it was all of 1 year. I wasn't that, and that was because of my mom was trying to get me into Legacy, but I wanted to stay at Mason.
Which means that we could have seen each other within those 5 years.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because I wanted to stay at Legacy, and then we had to transfer. And guess where I transferred to? Learn.
Oh no.
Like.
See, it was downhill from there.
Look, man.
Should have just came to Mason.
You gotta understand. I just went from the butt of the joke to one of the most popular people in that school, and now I gotta do it all over again for another 3 years. Like, bro, I just put myself in a situation where I'm the cool guy now. Now I gotta be the cool guy. Like, that's some bullshit. Mm-hmm. But back to my original statement. Like, anytime that I come to the Mason games, it's packed, it's good food, and it's most importantly, it's good fun. How happy are you that when, like you had said earlier, like both of y'all said earlier, that we live in North Lawndale. It's not always sunshine and rainbows. We got rivalries, we got cliques, we got all this stuff in that. But when it's time to play for the Mason game, everybody forget all that. It's all fun and games. So how proud are you, or how happy are you to know that whenever it's time for the Mason game to pop up, it's all just straight basketball, straight family?
Man, I'm always excited when we get closer to the summertime, man. I used to didn't like the summer, but since we started this tournament, it's like I look forward to it, seeing the kids being able to be kids. And, it created a safe haven for a lot of the community members, from kids to the seniors. And, it's given the opportunity for a lot of parents to see their kids showcase their talents. A lot of parents working nowadays, it might work a little bit late, so they might not be able to get to those games. So this is a outside opportunity for them to just come out and support and just, see all the love and, connect with people that they might not have seen.
If y'all also build a team of 7 people who went to Mason, who's on that team?
That's tough.
And who's the 12? Mr. Bryant gonna be the coach. But you got to make your team a 7.
That's tough. Ooh. That's tough. From Mason?
Well, I'm going to throw my nephew Alfonso in there for sure. The names that's coming to mind right off the bat, you got Lil Dave, Tyshawn. Man, there's a lot of names that's coming.
Baby Girl.
Yeah.
Sheesh. You got some names on that list. That's a tough one. That's a tough question.
Yeah. Because since you said that, the first name you brought up was your nephew, Mr. Alfonso McKinney. Not everybody gets to see their relatives do what they do and get paid for what they do at the highest bidder. I would love to go see my nephews, my nieces, my brothers. Well, I ain't got no brothers. My nephew or my sister, click on the TV, watch their game. How does that feel?
Man, it's the most grateful feeling in the world. And it was a time where he was playing with Golden State, and he had just came back to play the Chicago Bulls, and I was in attendance with the rest of my family. And he just bought his mom the house in Country Club Hills, and he went for 19 points and 10 rebounds. And I was on a FaceTime with my homie. I was finna cry, man. It's just so, because we were like brothers growing up. You seen him, you seen me. We was attached just like that. They called me stuff, and they called him Alley Cat. So
That's a tough nickname.
Yeah, just seeing it each and every day, and just knowing the work that he put in, is like, you deserve every bit of what you deserve that came to you. So, honored and grateful to be able to witness it.
Like I said, I did some research. There were some pictures of you in a rough refit. So I'm going to put it like this. On a scale of 1 to 10, how irritating is it to be a ref?
I learned from the best. It all goes back to my dad. It's just you have moments where you got people that's irate and just try to get under your skin, but when you talk about somebody that's already poised and that know how to communicate with people and that's passed down to you, I mean, the game is not really that frustrating or hard. But if you let it get to you, then that's when you kind of, feel it. But my refereeing career, it was a blessing, man. I had fun with it, and I didn't really have no too many moments where I got too heated or upset. But if I did, I kept it until after the game, and I reflected with my father, and hey, this is what you need to do and how to handle this situation.
What is your funniest moment as a referee?
You really want to know that, man?
Hey,
I want to know this
Oh
one.
man!
I need the views. So come on, man. I need to hear.
So, refereeing, we always had to wear these pants, and you can't wear belts. So I got a big gut, so my pants always falling, But it was one situation we were at Mason, refereeing a basketball game. I'm a diabetic, and I had took my medicine before we went to the game, and we were going to the second half. I was like, "Hey, pops, my medicine kicking in. I gotta go to the washroom." I'm like, "Can you start the game or do you need me, man?" He's like, "Hey, go do what you gotta do." I totally understand. Now you see what I be talking about. So he started the game. I rushed back in there and we got to it. So
That's nice.
How do you feel about the game of basketball evolving to what it is, and you seeing like multiple generations, like even for instance like Philip, you done seen how his brothers did play and stuff like that, and you see how he done modeled his game based off them and added a little bit to it. How do you feel that basketball is coming along within North Lawndale?
uh I mean, we got some great players and the evolution of the game in North Lawndale is it's great. You know, we're not producing as many players as we used to, but I'm not saying that the talent is not there, but at the same time, it's like a lot of people aren't taking basketball as serious as when we used to. So it's kind of like me working in the school system now and seeing these kids is like it's not basketball first, right? It's like they don't want to put the effort in, but if they could put down these tablets and these phones and get away from social media, it's a lot of great potential in North Lawndale and many other areas around the city of Chicago where they could be NBA players or overseas players. So the evolution is kind of going down to me, but it still has the opportunity to get back to where it was. So when it comes to the NBA, it all comes down to, from what I know now, politics and because with again my nephew, like it'll be times where he's passing up shots or you know doing things he shouldn't be doing, and it's like I'm frustrated because I'm like, well, he didn't take the shot, but then it's like, hey, that's not my place. Coach didn't want me to do that, and PJ Tucker said too, like my specific job is to go out there and defend. Don't shoot at all. Like this is what I get paid for. So it's just all politics and upper general management stuff. So,
I can see that. I can see that.
but then too, when it comes to these injuries, a doctor told me a long time ago, like the more repetitions and the more these players work out, their body is actually older than them. So if you 21 and you playing constantly almost 7 days a week, probably 10 or 15 years, your body might be already 30. All the rumping and jumping and the damage you're doing to your body. So, you know.
I never really thought about it like that. I thought repetition would probably like help it in a way.
Yeah, that's where like all the little physical therapy and the athletic trainers come in and that to try to get you to eat right and give you the right things to do to keep your body going.
Now my question is this: Would you rather be an athlete like Mikal Bridges and eat Chipotle every day, and that's your diet, and you haven't missed a game since high school? Or would you rather be like Ocho, who recommend that people eat McDonald's and be like, and he was like, well, the most I've been hurt the whole time, and he ate McDonald's before every game, was just a broken finger. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got athletes of that nature and that caliber, but what type of athlete would you want to be? Would you want to be like Mikal, or would you want to be more like Ocho?
I think I'm gonna go more like Mikal Bridges because the Chipotle got more healthier options, and the stuff that they put in these foods now is kind of like it could stunt your performance at the end of the day too. So I'm gonna go with Mikal for sure, and you know I don't know. Eating McDonald's every day should get tiring and nasty. I'm already big, so I gotta stay lean and ready for the game.
So you didn't talk on your nephews and stuff like that, and how they still found a way to still be part of something special as much as basketball is to them. Um, how do you feel about them individually and still applying things that they've learned from Mr. Bryant and stuff like that, and using what they've learned and what's instilled in them as a family to create what they're doing right now?
I love it, man. I love them all equally. I don't love no one more than this one or anything like that. And it's good to see that they're still possessing the stuff that was passed down to us because those are long life skills. And like I always tell a lot of people that I look at life as like a video game. We always go back to the rule book, which is the people that came before us to get to the next level or the next phase of the game. So, once you get to those points where they're no longer in the game, you have to rely back on what you were taught. So, for them to keep moving on and pushing forward is a great feeling to see, and just being an uncle and giving my life skills and what I've experienced and passing on down to Steven, Jordan, and a lot of other people around me. So it's a blessing, man, for sure.
Yeah, as an uncle myself, I do understand.
Yes, sir.
He only been alive for like 4 months, but I can see the potential in him. He already jumping. Like how the little kids be jumping and stuff like that. So wide receiver. Wide receiver, or potentially shooting guard.
I mean, you got ops, so
shooting guard. He probably gonna be tall. Shooting guard.
Yeah, he gonna be tall.
And he kind of big. Running back.
You may be lineman.
I could have been a running back. No, I think
safety.
I think lineman is safety, cornerback.
DB. No, you could be a hybrid linebacker.
Who, you?
Me? No. I'm
The way he was saying it, I thought he was talking about you.
I'm talking about my nephew.
No, the way he transitioned it, he say like he switched to you. I'm like,
I'm either running back or water boy.
hey.